Hi.
Hi.
Holy moly. That was amazing.
How's it going?
It's going well. It's going incredibly well. I've had a beautiful day today. Got to hang out with my Astro fam, got to hang out with my Flip Me fam, and I got to pee just now. So I'm super excited about that, and I'm happy to be here on Straight Outta Compin. Welcome everybody. If you can see, I'm wearing my Straight Outta Compin swag. Who wants one of these? Who wants one of these Straight Outta Compin t-shirts? Who wants one of these? Yeah, right.
They're sick.
Super sick. We do have a merch store. Emily, if you guys are interested in copping one of these limited edition Straight Outta Compin t-shirts, send me a DM on IG and I will get you one. Cool. But I'm ready. I'm here to comp some houses. Let's get to it.
Alrighty, let's get to it. We're going to start in Georgia today.
Okay. How are you, Emily, by the way?
I'm so good. I just had a really chill day with the family. So that was really nice. Always very refreshing.
Nice to be with your little baby girl and your amazing guy. And we're happy to have you with us today. Thank you guys all for joining us. If you are tuning in, do us a favor and hit the like button right now so that the YouTube algorithm knows that we're not like a bad show, that we're, oh my God, this camera is not on a good platform here. Hold on. Give me a sec. There we go. Whew, we're straight.
Oh, that's good.
But hit the like button and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Let's comp some houses. Emily, where's our first house going to be? You said Georgia?
Yep.
All right. I'm with it.
Doing a share?
I sure do. Actually, before we do that, let's go through the appraisal rules. Would you mind?
Yeah. I'll throw them up there.
Amazing. So guys, these are the appraisal rules. These are the rules that we use when we are comping houses. And why do appraisal rules matter? Well, first and foremost, because when you are wholesaling a house, right, determining ARV and wholesaling a house to a buyer, they are more than likely going to fix and flip that property. Now, when they fix and flip that property is going to be sold to a retail buyer. That retail buyer is going to get a retail loan, an FHA loan, a VA loan, or some kind of conventional loan. And it'll be subject to an appraisal, which is why these appraisal rules are so important. So first and foremost, we have to abide by them, because when we're comping houses or finding ARV, we need to use the same rules that the appraiser is going to use when they're valuing the house. So here are some of those rules. We can only compare houses that are in the same subdivision. Okay, the same subdivision. Now, how do we know if we're leaving the subdivision? Well, you're very likely going to be crossing a major road. Okay, so if you're crossing a major road or crossing a road with extensive traffic, you're very likely leaving your subdivision, and that would make your comp less viable. When you're comparing two properties, they need to be plus or minus 250 square feet in difference of each other. So to give you an example, if I have a 1,000 square foot house, I can use a comp that's as big as 1,250, and I can use a comp that's as small as 750. But once I get up beyond 1,250, like say I have a 1,500 square foot house, I can't use that 1,500 square foot comp to justify a value for my 1,000 square foot house, and vice versa, right? Because the dollar per square foot will start to skew after 250 square feet. When we're comparing two properties, we only compare properties that are of the same type. So if you have a single story, we compare it with another single story. If you have a two-story, you can only compare that with a two-story. Again, if you're crossing any major roads, you're very likely leaving your subdivision. Now, am I super blurry, Emily?
It's a little out of focus, yeah.
There we go.
Oh, perfect.
You can only compare houses that are within plus or minus 10 years of construction or the same build generation. So now, for example, if you have a house built in 1875 and 1910, that's more than 10 years, but the technology between 1875 and 1910 didn't accelerate a lot, and so they're in the same build generation. However, as we progressed as a society and as a community in the United States and in other places, our technology on how we constructed homes accelerated dramatically. And so that's why 10 years of construction is typically used between appraisers, because technology for build construction elevated or changes every 10 years, give or take. So example, you might have galvanized plumbing, and after a certain amount of time, everyone switched to PVC. You see what I mean? You're going to have to replace all that galvanized plumbing if you're going to fix and flip that house, because galvanized plumbing will rust, and that rust will corrode, and that will create problems in your property. And so that's why build generation is super important to stay consistent with. Now, you're not always going to find properties that match completely, and so you're going to need to make adjustments. Some of those adjustments are here. If you have an additional bed, bath, or pool, those can be worth anywhere between $10,000 to $25,000. Same with a garage and a carport. But if you're lacking a bedroom, bathroom, pool, or garage or carport, you would subtract $10,000 to $25,000 all the way down to $5,000 for a carport. So you need to make adjustments if you are comparing houses that aren't exact. Say, for instance, you've got a 3-bed, 1-bath, and you're comparing it to a 3-bed, 2-bath. You have to make the adjustment for that bathroom. And then lastly, guys, if your property is backing, siding, or fronting any traffic or commercial, you need to make adjustments for that as well. And if you have any additional dwelling units like a basement or a guest house, you can only give 50% of value for those additional structures. Now, with that said, let's comp some houses.
Let's go. We had people in here at 3:30. You guys are so awesome.
Wow. What a crew.
Seriously.
All right. So Georgia. I'm ready.
All righty. 203 Farmbrook Parkway. Farmbrook is one word, and that's in Stockbridge.
Got it. 203 Farmbrook Parkway, Stockbridge, Georgia. Listed on Zillow the last 5 hours. It's an auction property, so this is in foreclosure.
Can you expand your screen?
Yeah, I sure can.
Thank you.
So this is a 3-bed, 2-bath, built in 1987, sitting on a 2,600 square foot lot. I think it's bigger than that, though. It looks bigger than that. And it does have an attached garage. Let's see what the comps are showing us for value. Here's our subject, 1,498 square feet. Okay, across the way, we've got a 3-bed, 2-bath, 1,563 square footer that sold for $240. So that gets us to about, that's actually very close in size. So that probably gets us to about $230 when you adjust for the square footage. Let's see what else we've got. All of this, these 516s, these are all land sales, and you can see all of this land, why these all recorded at 516, all of this land recorded on one contract at 516. So whoever bought this bought all of this for 516. All of this was one sale. So these aren't comps. That's too large. And I think we're probably going to be able to call it there. I'm going to say 235 ARV on that one. 235.
All righty. Next one is Ohio.
All right. Go ahead.
1122 Pike Street, Southwest.
Etna, Ohio. We got a 3-bed, 1.5-bath, 1,296 square footer in Etna, Ohio. There is no Zestimate, but it was assessed at $92,000 in 2020. Quick comps show us that number 1 is the most viable. That's a 3-1 1424 that sold for $240. So hey, we might be up at $240 on this one or close to it. Let's check the comps. And I mean, that's next door practically. Let's see the condition of it. And it's a remodel. How lucky are we? So this is what we do. We'd make the adjustment for the square footage here. How we do that is we take 239,000 and we divide that by 1,424 square feet. That's $167 a square foot. We multiply that by the square footage of our subject property, which is 1,296. And that gets us to an ARV of 217. 217 on this one in Etna, Ohio.
All righty, back to Georgia.
Back to the GA. All right.
2622 Godfrey Drive, Northwest. There you go.
All right, 2622 Godfrey Drive, Northwest Atlanta, Georgia is a 3-bed, 1-bath, 1,053 square footer. Looks like it's a crispy house. There was a fire here. Look at that right there. You see that big hole in the ceiling, in the roof. And you look at these pictures. Yep, burn, burn, burn. It did. It is listed for sale at $129,000. They made a big price cut in February for 20 grand. It's been on the market 53 days. It's been looked at 3,638 times, which tells us that it's got some meat on it, but it might be in too bad condition for what it's priced at. So let's see what it really needs to be priced at in order for this to become a deal. Built in 1950, 7,800 square foot lot. Let's see what the ARV is. Well, we got a 225 single story remodel. So that gets us over 230. Ooh, what's this? 325 for a 1692 square foot house. We're much smaller than that. So unfortunately, we can't even use that dollar per square foot because it's too big. Let's see if there's anything higher than 225 or 230 that we can use. Here we go. Now, this is on a larger lot, so we're going to need to make an adjustment for that. It's approximately, a good, well, we're at 8,000 square feet. This is probably going to be at about 12,000 square feet. So I think you got to make, and at this price point, I think you got to make an adjustment of about $10,000 for the lot. So we've got a 1,354 square foot house, which is a little bit bigger than I'd want to use. But I think it'll get us to the dollar per square foot that we need. 300,000 divided by 1,354. That's about 221 a foot. Times that by, and our subject was 1,053. Gets us to about 233, which is right where we were anyways, guys. So that's what it is. 233. 230 ARV, 230 to 235 ARV. Now, what you should buy this at, and I think this is the reason why this hasn't sold yet, you probably want to be at about 35% of ARV for this to actually make sense. So they've got this listed at 130. I think this is not a deal at 130. I think you need to pick this up at 90. 90. Go offer them 90 grand. 90 grand.
All righty, back to Ohio. Seeing
right.
a little pattern here.
We're just ping-ponging here from Georgia to Ohio. We're with it, though. What's up? What's the address?
885 East 260th Street in Euclid. There we go.
Euclid. That's a hard C. That's a hard C. Euclid. We got a 3-bed, 1-bath, 1,064 square footer in Euclid, Ohio. The Zestimate on it is $98,800. Now, look at what we've got. Some quick comps here. One at about, well, we can't use that because it's too big. Let's look at number 6. 3-1. Okay, we got about 83. Is nothing special here though. So let's see what the map shows us. Ooh, I love it. Right on the block. Right on the block here. We got a nice remodel, but it is a 2-story. Now, guys, why we can use a 2-story's numbers is because a 2-story always sells for less money than a single story. Why? Because of the stairs. Because there's less buyers that want stairs. So we can actually use this dollar per square foot and get a good idea of what our ARV might be. 159,900 divided by 1194 gets us to $133 a foot. When we apply that to our subject property that has a square footage of 1,064, that gets us to about 142 ARV. Let's see if there's any other indications that that's correct. Here we go. Look at that. Backing the freeway. 3-bed, 2-bath, 1,082 square footer sold for 150. So guys, our ARV on this is probably closer to 160 once you adjust for the traffic. Actually, no, we're fronting traffic too, so no adjustment needs to be made there. Your ARV, guys, is 150. 150 all day. All day, every day. On we go.
Okay, we're going to Pittsburgh.
Hey, before we go to Pittsburgh, I just want to ask, how many of you guys, just by put it in as a say yes in the chat, how many of you guys are coming to Las Vegas to the Clever Summit? Say yes in the chat if you're coming. Doesn't look like we got a lot of people coming. So let me tell you guys what's happening in Las Vegas. In Las Vegas, Emily is coming. Yes, you guys want to meet Emily? Emily will be in Vegas with us. It is going to be the networking event of the year. We have the entire Sub2 community. We've got the Astro community going. If you use Pace's link, actually what happens is you'll have nightmares for the next 6 weeks. So don't do that. There is a link here in that Emily just put up. The prices are going, they're doubling tonight. They're doubling tonight. So click on that link and show up because Vegas is going to be dope. And I don't care if you use my link or you use Pace's link. Just come, because if you are doing deals, you need to network with people in your market that are doing deals. That's the truth. And this is where you'll find them. 1,500 of you like-minded individuals are all going to be at the conference in Vegas, and you're going to see Robert Kiyosaki speak, and I'm going to speak too, and maybe Pace if we let him. All right, let's go. What's next?
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania. Okay.
I'm excited. It's going to be such a good time.
Oh, heck yeah. All right. I'm ready for you.
Okay. 804 Cedar Avenue in Pittsburgh.
(804) Cedar Avenue, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. It's a row house, 4-bed, 2-bath, 2295 square footer. Looking at it, it looks to be. Ooh, it does. The basement needs some work. Otherwise, it's kind of, original, not super special in terms of finish inside. Let's see what this thing could be worth. We got a quick comp here at number 2 that says with a full remodel, we might have a 480 house. Dang. Well, let's see. So, yeah, this 1915 shows us that we're above 400 because ours is larger than that. Let's see when this one was built. Your construction works. The renovation's gorgeous. Look at this, guys. 480 ARV with a full remodel. 480 ARV.
All righty. Now we're going to move to Texas. We can use our beloved batch leads.
Let's go.
Got a little distracted there, huh?
What's the address?
198 Guadalupe River Drive.
Yeah, I
And
got distracted because Pace is texting me
talking about
talking about his link,
the schemes that's going to happen with his link.
right?
The nightmare.
All the things that are happening. 1989 Guadalupe Drive, you said?
No, just 198.
And where is that?
Guadalupe River Drive.
Am I spelling Guadalupe right?
Looks like it. Guadalupe. There we go. In Seguin.
God. I think Seguin was right.
Seguin.
We'll call it that. All right, we've got a 1956 built, 30,127 square foot, 4-bed, 3-bath, built in 56, sitting on a 30,000 square foot lot, so nearly an acre, has a pool, 2-story house. Let's see what it's worth. Seguin. Now we're backing the river, so that's going to give us some extra value. See, this is too small to use, but it shows us that we're above 375. I'm looking at these lake houses because that's the most relevant comps to use. Those are too new. What's this? This doesn't look. It looks suspect because it's so out of line with all the other prices that are here. We got a 68 build here that's sold or is active at 492. And it does appear to have updates. It's been remodeled. So mind you, it's much smaller. So I think that when we extrapolate that list price and we look at these sales prices down here, even though they're newer, as well as this 375, I think that gets us to about five and a quarter on a subject. So I'd say 525,000 ARV on this one.
Awesome. Next one is in Connecticut. 61 South Main Street in Marlboro.
61 South Main Street in Marlboro, Connecticut.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, neat, right? Listed at 425,000. Been available 25 days. What does it say here? Farmed, owned for generations. This is an opportunity for someone to start a hobby farm and also have the ability to have 2 houses on one property located near the center of town. It has 7.5 acres and income potential. Okay. What else do we see here? It's a duplex because there's 2 houses on the property, which is interesting. This is not a straightforward one. It was built in 1860, so it's an old-timey farm. What else can we find out? We don't have any beds or baths. We're very unlikely to find exact comp for this. 58 square feet, right? Here we got a beautiful house that sold for $475 back in 19. So I don't necessarily want to use it. It's too old. But so far it's the highest we got here. Now we are on the main road, guys. So that's going to be, we got to see when this thing was built. Hold on. 2004, 2 new. On we go. Built in 2001, 2 new. $1880 farmhouse. Great. Now it's substantially smaller than our property, but that tells us that we're above 315. See if we can find anything else. Two new. It'll be 2 new. Also 2 new. So I think since we've only got the one sale there, we've got the 315 that's viable because of its age. But it is substantially smaller. This is going to be inexact, guys. So just so you are aware, how we would value that, we'd probably give it an additional 10% in value. So 315 times 0.1 or is 31,000. So 315 plus 31,500 takes us to 346.5. That's what I'm going to call the ARV, 346.5. And I'd say with this age of construction, you probably want to be at about 65% of that. So these guys are overpriced by about $200,000.
Woo.
I think you need to buy this thing at $225 to renovate this thing. Because look at it. It's trash. It's trash. I mean, you're going to have to do so much. You're going to have to spend so much money getting that thing to look like a new house. So I'd be at 225. Maybe you can go up to 250. I don't think these sellers are in reality yet. So could take you some time to get there.
Alrighty. Back to Texas.
Okay.
5105 Locke Avenue. And Locke has an E at the end.
5105 Locke.
Yes.
In Fort Worth.
Yep.
$5105 Locke Avenue, Fort Worth, Texas. Active on the MLS at $175. It's been available a couple of weeks. 767 square foot, 3-bed, 1-bath, single-story house. No garage, no pool. Let's see what it's worth. Here's a great comp for us. We got a 1,024 square footer. Let's see what that dollar per square foot gets us to. So I'm going to take 225,000 divided by 1,024. Takes us to 219. Multiply that by 767. Gets us to about 170. Let's see if there's anything else here that gives us a. Oh, look at that. Remodeled as well. Wonderful. Okay, well, let's play with this one. 258 a foot. Multiply that by 767, and that takes us to about 200. ARV on this property, 200K. They're listed at 175. There's no deal here. So what you need to buy this at is about 135. 135. Go offer them 135.
All righty. Now to Virginia.
Virginia. All right, I'm ready for you.
114 Kristen Court.
ARIS.
IN.
EIN. Okay.
Yep, there you go.
Okay, we've got 114 Kristen Court, Yorktown, Virginia. Been available 31 days. It is a foreclosure on auction.com. 3-bed, 2-bath, multifamily. Okay. But I don't see how it's multifamily. So I'm not going to assume it is. I'm going to assume it's a single house. 285 is the Zestimate. 1762 square feet. And when was this built? 03. Okay. Right across the road. But not remodeled. And that sold at 276. Ooh, 285. And it's clean, not remodeled as well, but that gets us above 285. Let's see if we can find anything else. I think that's it, Emily. I think that gets us to 285. 285 ARV. And we lost her. Hey, Ramon, send me a DM on IG, and I will help you get in touch with the people in Pittsburgh. Hello.
Hey, I don't know what happened.
I think you've been booted off, but it's okay. I'll finish it off.
No, I can come back in.
Okay. How do I get you back in?
No, I'll do it.
Okay.
I'll come back in.
Okay, bye. Some technical difficulties there, guys. Sorry about that. Let's see what's next. Matt Justice has one, 1920 East 10th Street. Let's take a look. (1920 East 10th Street, Tucson, Arizona. 3-bed, 2-bath, 1515 square footer, listed at $418,900. Been available 16 days for sale by owner, though. You know what that means? Probably well overpriced. 2-bedroom, 1-bath, plus a separate studio. That's a 1-1 near U of A. Seller is flexible, though. Built-in 46. And it appears to be an original condition, but very clean condition as well. Cute little house. So Matthew, we got this remodel here, smaller than our subject that got us to 363. So we're above 363 ARV. Let's see what we can find that's bigger. Here's one, 460. And this one has been remodeled as well. So we'll take the dollar per square foot from this 460. Divide that by 1693. Let's just check the year of construction on this to make sure that it's viable. 1949. I think that does work. $46. Perfect. Multiply this by 15 square feet. Gets us to 411. And look, this guy's listed at ARV. Okay, I'm saying the ARV on this thing is 411, and he's got it listed at 418. So he's listing at top retail, and this house needs a renovation. So I would offer him, if 420 is your ARV, I'd offer him 300 to max 310, Matthew. But 300 is the number. He's a little bit high right now. Ethan has one for us. 4224 Market Street in Youngstown, Ohio. Six bed, 4 bath, 8515 square footer. Ooh, what is this? Is this commercial? Is this a fourplex? It looks like it's a fourplex. I need the rents in order to comp this. So whoever put this in, you need to tell me what the property rents at, and I can help you get a value on it. Um, 5306 Bonnie Bray Circle. Let's try that one. $5306 Bonnie Bray Circle, Orlando, Florida is a 3-bed, 2-bath, 1,048 square footer listed at $165. Been available one day. They've got multiple offers, highest and best due by Monday at 8 p.m. Let's see what this has got working for it. 3-bed, 2-bath, 59 build, 0.3 acres of a lot. Ooh, there it is. 228. 228 is our ARV. So if 228 is our ARV, You want to be at about 150 on this. They're listed at 165. So I don't know if it's gone above list or not. I would call the listing agent and see where the offers are standing, and maybe they can represent you. But I think you got to be at like 150 on this thing for it to work. Hey, Emily, you're back.
Hi, can you hear and see me?
I can hear and see you. Yes.
Oh, thank God. That was so weird.
How are you?
I'm good from the.
Awesome. We're glad to have you back.
I know.
All right, let's keep going.
Okay. Awesome. We can do this one in Colorado.
Okay.
For Scott W. Address is 3135 East 52nd Avenue in Denver.
Denver. 3135 East 52nd Avenue in Denver, Colorado is a 2-bed, 1-bath, 840 square foot house. Looking at the quick comps, man, we might have something worth between 360 and 400 here. There's estimate on it is 368, so that makes sense. But look at that. There's a 630. Well, we got to do some investigation. Oh, I hate this. I hate this area. Look at this. Like all of these houses down here, they've got like awesome. They're great lots down here. Okay. But over here, where our subject is, this is some BS because you're literally surrounded by, I don't know what this is, like a trucking storage facility. And then there's more crap going on over here and more crap going on over here. And then here's your house. You're just surrounded by crap. So that's a problem. So we're going to have to make some major adjustments to our pricing in order for this to be relevant. Well, there's a 2-bed, 1-bath, 581 square footer that sold for 310. Okay. Here's one that sold for 360 as a 1-1. Holy man. How are these houses 1-bed, 1-bath houses in Denver? Like, do people in Denver not have families? So I think we use this dollar per square foot. We make some adjustments and we determine our ARV. So we got 360K divided by 1137. That gets us to about 316 a foot. Multiply that by our subject properties size. $840 gets us to about 265. Yeah, I'm not liking this one bit, guys. I do not like this at all. And maybe that's where it needs to be, because look, you've got a sale at 260 here. That appears to have been somewhat upgraded because it's closer to all this garbage, right? So I think it's right. I think your ARV on this thing is 265. That's it. Sorry. I know you're hoping for more, but not in this little pocket. All right, on we go. Hey, Christopher, if you received an email from somebody from Keegley, I would just respond to them and say, hey, I haven't heard from you guys, and I'd like to connect, and just reach back out to them. You won't bother anybody. They're just, some of them get super busy. Same to you, Ramon Cardona. You know, apologize that you haven't been contacted back. Sometimes, though, what happens, Ramon, is that the rep that you were dealing with left the company. And so maybe the voicemail that you're leaving is going to a place where no one is checking. So connect with me on IG and I will connect you to the appropriate parties. Let's look at this one here. 1502 Blue Heron Drive. Sarasota, Florida. 1502 Blue Heron Drive, Sarasota, Florida. Ooh, Zestimate is $3,421,800 because it is on the Outta. Look at this house. Holy moly. That is one heck of a house. But it looks to be fully it's in beautiful shape. I mean, this is remodeled. I don't see how this could be a wholesale deal. Let's see what we can get for a value. There we are. Excuse me. Sorry, guys. Hope that didn't break anybody's eardrums. Two, 338 square feet. Small. And these properties are so custom over here. So the new build at 4,300 square feet sold for 5.5. But ours is not a new build. Well, what I think we got to do is we've got a 5-bed, 6-bath sale at 4,600 square feet. We're substantially smaller. And let's just see what the year build is. This is 1992. Let's check our subject. $53. Can't even use it. I'd almost go so far as to say that you need to bulldoze this house and build a new one. I don't know that you renovate this house. I think you've got to bulldoze that house and build something brand new. That's what I think happens. You could put a $13 million house on it. Let's see the lot size. Maybe that's how we got to evaluate this. What's the lot size? 1.45 acres for this $13 million sale. What's this lot? What's our lot size? $10,000 square feet. Nothing. That's right here. Here we go. $2 million for a 0.3 acre lot. That's very close to 10,000 square feet. Now, And that's what they did. See, they knocked down the 1952 house. This is what it is. $2 million. And I say you've had about, little appreciation since then. So I'd say $2.5 million for that house. $2.5 million. $2.5 million. Jamel Burnside asked, is Florida considered a high appreciation, high demand market? Yes, sir, it is. Let's look at this property for Lily Co. 4302 Monty Street in Dallas. We will go to batch leads for that. For those of you guys that are in non-disclosure states or in disclosure states, batch leads is the best place to comp your houses. And that is 4302 Monty Street in Dallas. And if you don't have batch leads, go to batchleads.io/Jamil, batchleads.io/Jamil, and try it out. Get a discount. We've got a sale at 350. This is a little bit of newer construction. It's on the line, though. It's on the line. Ours is a little bigger, though. But that gets us over 350. Dang, guys, over 350. I think we got a 360 house over here. Let's see if there's anything else that supports anything higher, but I don't think we're going to find it. I'm going to call it 360 ARV, 360 ARV on that one in Dallas. Take a look at this. Vibing with Ty. 8230 Dames Point. 8230 Dames Point. $82.30 Dames Point Crossing Boulevard in Jacksonville, Florida is a 2000 build, but it doesn't tell us the square feet, and it's already remodeled. Somewhat remodeled. Basically remodeled, but there it's pending at 138. Batch's value estimate on it is 147. I don't know the square footage of this, but what I'm going to do. Oh, number 1007. Okay. What number do we have here? It's an 1,100 square foot, 2-bed, 2-bath, 2001 build. Got it. So we really just need to see what's selling in the community here. That's what's going to get us there. And we're lucky when you have a condominium or a townhome community. Your comps are based off of what's sold in the building. Easy enough. We've got a 117 sale. Is there anything else? Not a ton going on in here. I'm going to say the 117 is the best we've got. That's all we have. Only, one unit is sold in that complex that we can see. I'm I'm going to say that your ARV is going to be a little higher than that because time has progressed and the market's gone up. I'm going to call it 130. I'm going to call your ARV 130. 130 ARV. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Guys, I appreciate all of you tuning in. And if you have any questions, if you want to get further knowledge on comping, or if you'd like to join our Astro Flipping community, send me a DM. I'm happy to connect you to the right people. And also, remember, this is the most important part of this wholesale journey, understanding and learning value. Now, a good thing for you to do would be to go back and watch previous episodes and comp along with us. You can watch an address come on. You can comp it yourself, pause it, and see what I came up with and see what you came up with. Putting in the reps is what's going to get you to the gold, guys. Knowing and understanding value is how I built the nation's largest wholesale operation, and you can do the same thing yourself. Learn the rules, put in the reps, and get to it. Guys, I appreciate you all. Thanks for tuning in. And join us tomorrow at 5 p.m. Arizona time on my YouTube channel for Wholesale Hotline. Take care, everybody. Good night.